Welcome back to Breslov Campus. Insights in the Parsha of the week, Parshat Va'era. In continuation to the end of last week's Parsha, where we see how Moshe Rabbeinu was being tested big time, not to be convinced that what he sees is the real reality. And this week's Parsha, Hashem begins with that point specifically. That Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm expecting of you trust. Trust me. And I told you already that it's not going to be so easy. That what you're going to see with the suffering of the Jews and Pharaoh making it worse, and instead of things getting better, things are now worse. This is just an initial stage. It's not always going to be like that. And then Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu again, listen, I'm now going to send 10 plagues into Egypt. This week's Parsha has 7 of them, 7 of the 10. And you're going to see that Pharaoh is not going to listen. So again, is a type of a test for Moshe Rabbeinu and for all of us, that a person can get hit and punished and everything, but he doesn't wake up from it. This happens a lot in life. For example, when a person gets diagnosed with some type of a sickness or some type of disease or some type of a difficulty, so initially it's shocking, it's traumatic and everything. But unfortunately, what happens in life is people just get used to it and they learn how to live with it and just continue with it. And they fall back again into the initial problems. I remember once traveling with somebody who had diabetes, a taxi driver who had diabetes, and he initially got off of it totally through diet and everything. And I'm driving with this taxi driver right now, and he's eating in front of me. He says, look, he has a whole bag of candies and sweets, saying that he didn't learn from it. That you can get hit with all types of sicknesses and everything, and you wake up, you get smacked a little from Hashem to wake up, and the person just goes back to the evil tendencies. This is reflected in the initial 5 of the 10 plagues, where it's told clearly, Rashi says this point very clearly, that even though Pharaoh was subdued initially when he was hit with the first plague of dam, blood, the frogs, the lice, but afterwards, his heart became hardened, and he didn't learn. He didn't wake up. Like he said, okay, all right, I'll give in. And soon as there was an opening, okay, go back to my evil ways. In a sense, a person with his Yetzer Hara is the same. And it's a big test in life to know that I have to get out of this. I can't continue for the rest of my life being negative, with negative traits, negative attitudes. I must make this change. And then you get hit by Hashem, you get something happening, and you start crying, oh, forgive me Hashem, help me. But afterwards, when things ease up a little, a person goes back, and as if nothing happened. We don't want that to happen, but it seems that a person needs to be hit in a way 10 times majorly until finally he wakes up. Just like Pharaoh let the Jews out only after after the 10 plagues, then he was totally opened up to let the Jewish people go. So too, a person, it seems, will have to go through a lot until finally the Yetzer Hara can leave him, and then a person has to be determined. What's needed is that a person has to keep on davening, to keep on praying, and never make the conclusion, look, I've prayed so much, Hashem made it hard for me, and He made it easy for me, and hard for me, and I'm still where I was in the very beginning, and even worse probably. I haven't changed, I'm still stuck. Person should not dwell on that, rather to keep on davening until the time comes to release a person from the evil, from the paro, from within himself. What's needed is to keep on davening and not to sink in, to be convinced by the conclusion, I'm never going to make it, I'm never going to change. Look at me, I'm already 40, 50, 60 years old, and I haven't changed even a bit from where I was 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Why should I continue and everything? This is, of course, from Paro. That's the evil side. What's needed for a person is not at all to pay attention to this. He must keep on davening and never say, what, I'm facing against a brick wall, it's never going to move, it's not never going to happen. This attitude is wrong. And this is the test of Moshe Rabbeinu, which was not to be fooled into what he sees. So to every Jew, with what he's going through, not to be fooled and convinced, it's not going to happen, it's not going to change, I'm already old and weak and drained, the Yetzer Hara is even stronger with me than before. that attitude is wrong. What is the right attitude? That a person keeps on davening. Even if he reaches level 99.99999 and he still hasn't had that salvation in life, he is still davening for that breakthrough. There was, just to finish off with a statement that Rav Nosson once made. Rav Nosson once said, even if I would be living in the year 5,999, and it's the last day of that year, and Mashiach still has not come, because we know that Mashiach has to come latest by the year 6,000. Now we're in the year Tafshin Ayin Tet, 5 Tafshin. What's the count again? 979, right? So 5,779, right? So we have about almost over 200 years left, right? And he's still not here, Mashiach. Rav Nosson once said that even if I reach the year 5,999 and it's the last day of the year and Mashiach still has not come, still I will yearn and hope for Mashiach. That's a very scary statement. That you're the end, the actual final end. It took millions of Jews who were hoping for this final day, and still Mashiach has not come. Rav Nosson said, I would still not give up. To show us how a person has to be so strong, not to be convinced and fooled by what he sees. This is the test of Moshe Rabbeinu with getting the Jews out of Egypt, and that Hashem told him clearly, you're going to see Pharaoh's not going to listen, he's not going to listen, he's not going to listen, and that the Jews should see this to know that this is the game played with the Yetzer Hara, that he doesn't change, he doesn't listen, you're not changing, you want to be a good person, but a person begins to say, of what value is my wanting and wanting? The answer is, keep on yearning, keep on davening. That was the whole secret of the Jews leaving Egypt, and the secret of every Jew leaving his personal Egypt, and the secret of us, the Jewish people as a whole, leaving this exile and receiving Mashiach B'ezrat Hashem soon in our days. Amen.